Is getting some major art recognition. An international publication touts Utah as an up-and-coming player in the world of art. And a recent issue of the new Art Examiner magazine entitled Utah Plays Ball with New York exclusively featured Utah art. This morning, one of the authors and local artist, art critic Scotty Hill, joins us to talk about it. Congratulations, Scotty.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. How big is this for Utah?
This is a tremendous recognition for the state of Utah, especially because the New Art Examiner is a well-respected international arts publication, which has been in existence since 1973. It's very exciting for Utah to be not only featured in this issue, but to have an entire issue completely devoted to it.
So it's not just one article, it's the entire magazine is really giving Utah some love.
Correct. I'm one of 3 contributing essays to this piece, or to this issue, I should say.
So how did Utah get noticed? Maybe I should back up here. How is Utah an up-and-comer for art? What are we doing here that's getting this recognition?
Absolutely. So I think what is critical here is that we have a very robust contemporary art scene that many people may not know about. When folks outside of Utah think of Utah art, they may resort to some stereotypes of artists painting landscapes of mountains and deserts, for example. But this issue really was an opportunity to delve into the amazing work that artists across the spectrum are doing in very experimental ways.
So what are these artists doing now if we're branching out from our landscape art?
They're branching out into new art forms apart from traditional museum and gallery spaces. Pop-up art institutions, for example, that are occurring in people's homes, sculpture, installations, performance art, all of which may be a little unknown to traditional art consumers, but really push the boundaries of art beyond what we may get in a museum or gallery.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, obviously we have a lot to celebrate with our landscapes, but at the same time, you love to see that Utah is getting some recognition for some of those major art players like New York or Los Angeles.
Absolutely. The recognition is critical to establishing additional funding and recognition, and really for the artists who are on the cutting edge.
And how did they spot us? How did that come about?
So this opportunity came about as a project that occurred last summer, where the New York-based art critic Darren Jones was invited to come to Granary Arts, which is this amazing art institution in Ephraim, Utah. And he was invited there to conduct a series of discussions with art critics and artists, really arts professionals across the board, about the status of art and art criticism in what he referred to as regional or flyover art markets. So basically everything in between New York and Los Angeles.
I see.
So these discussions were very fruitful and led to the contribution of various essays for this issue.
And you said you wrote one of the essays. What was your role there?
My article was entitled, or is still entitled, The Changing Landscape of Utah Art. And in this article, I was devoted to expanding stereotypes of Utah art as being Western-centric, to include the great art being made here by women, people of color, and those experimenting outside the traditional confines of 2-dimensional art objects in museums and galleries. Much of this article is devoted to showcasing the exciting demographic changes occurring in Salt Lake City and recognizing how, at a city level, we're embracing artists and making Salt Lake City an arts city.
Well, we love getting that recognition. Where do we find the magazine there, Scotty?
You can read all of the essays in the issue on newartexaminer.net.
Okay, and of course we'll have the information on our website, abc4.com/GMU. Talking with artist critic Scotty Hill on the art article in the Art Examiner. Scotty, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.